Well, you guys, I have officially come to the realization that I will never be able to retire. I need to work until the day I die. I'm 64, so I don't know how long that's going to be.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear.
Well, that went well. And it's Tuesday. I forgot about that. And on Tuesdays at Ross's, you get a senior discount if you're 55 and older. See, there's so many advantages to being older. You know, it's not all bad. So yeah, I was very happy about that. And got all my walking in. I went around that store I don't know how many times, but they have a good stock right now. They've got a lot in. The line when I first came in was to the back of the store practically, and I was like, oh no, I can't do this. But as I was shopping, that the line seemed to dwindle down. I think people came out earlier in the morning, you know, stay-at-home moms and a lot of seniors. So by the time I got up to the register, it was lunchtime, and so there was hardly anybody in line. So anyway, I've got 45 minutes before I have to pick the kids up from school, so I'm going to go home and have some lunch and maybe my second cup of coffee, or maybe tea. Let's do tea. But anyway, so yeah, that was my big realization yesterday. It was like, yep, I gotta work. I have to, you know. I'm not a trust fund baby. I haven't hit the lotto. This is where I'm at. So, you know, this is my lot in life. Everybody has, you know, a different situation. And yes, I could have done things different. And yes, I've made a lot of mistakes. And I am where I am today because of decisions that I made. I'm well aware of that. And I know that nobody's responsible but myself. And so I'm taking full responsibility for it. And that's why I'm not complaining about it. It's not like, oh, woe is me. I got to work and I hate it. It's not like that. You know, I'm totally fine with it. And I'm actually grateful not only that I can work, but that I can find work. There's not a lot of opportunities, but you know, that I'm able to still find work, you know, considering my age and my qualifications. Let's just leave it at that. I'm very grateful that I do have a job. So no complaints. Let's talk about something happy. Tonight, I'm doing a Christmas Live with Diana, my buddy Diana, and we're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff about Christmas, mainly how Christmas has changed as we've gotten older. It just does. It evolves, it changes. Christmas itself has changed drastically through the years, how people used to celebrate it, and the things that we do now, the traditions are different, and people's perspective on it is different. It's not the same, you know. Some people are actually opting out just because they think it's too commercialized and they just don't care for it, you know, and it's not even just a religious thing. They just are choosing not to celebrate it. And, you know, it's a personal choice. But anyway, we want to talk about that and some of our worst Christmases and best Christmases. And, you know, I hope you guys will join us because it's going to be in real time. And, you know, we want to hear your stories too, your input. So hopefully you guys will join us. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to, you know, probably talk at least an hour or so. It starts at 7:00 Pacific Coast time. So I don't know what time it is where you're at. You know, it might be later. And I'm looking forward to that. That Christmas magic, that Christmas spirit is starting to creep in. And I think a lot of it was, you know, being out in, you know, with other people, and everybody was in a good mood. People were really nice. The lines were long, and it just felt festive, you know, even though it was like 80 degrees. And like I said, in my mind, Christmas time from my childhood meant White Christmas and Winter Wonderland and snow and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around, 80 degrees weather at summer and try to get that Christmassy feeling, even though I've been out here for 40 some odd years. You think I'd be used to it by now, but I just never did get used to it. And I don't know, but it's beautiful. And that's another thing. I'm happy I'm not driving in snow and ice, and if I really, really need to see the snow, it's right here. I'm in the foothills. I can just drive up the mountain about 20 minutes and I'll be in it. So, again, no complaints. It's just a different vibe. Things just feel different. And, having adult children, I still have young grandkids. They're not babies anymore though, and they're all growing up, and that changes too. Let me tell you, I went through that with my kids. Once they stopped wanting like fun stuff, toys for Christmas, that kind of changed the whole vibe of Christmas, and we're getting to that point where, most of our grandkids are, growing up. They're not little babies anymore. So it takes away from that feel, you know what I mean? Because Christmas is, that wonder that you see in children. And for me it is. And I enjoy that. And I'm going to miss that. But, soon enough, not too soon, we'll have great grandkids. I'm not for at least 10 years. My kids didn't start having babies till they were in their late 20s. So I'm hoping my grandkids will follow suit. I, on the other hand, was 17. So I don't, I mean, I liked being a young mom and a young grandma, but I don't want my kids to experience that. Everything happens for a reason. I'm one of those people that believes that. So I'm glad it happened the way it did. I wouldn't have my Nick, my oldest boy. He changed my entire life. It was having him at that young age. It made me who I am today. I'm so grateful. But at the same time, I just wouldn't want my kids to go through that. Things were different back then. And, there's so many opportunities for kids to do things. And I just want them to live their lives and enjoy themselves. And, then when they're ready, if they're ready to settle down and have a family, if they want. That's not a given nowadays. It used to be. That was the ultimate, you grew up and, went to college, you had a career, you got married, you had a family. The end. That was it. Now people realize it's an option. It's not an automatic. It's not like you absolutely have to, because not everybody is cut out for that, as we've seen through millions of divorces. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. We can't go around making people feel guilty and asking everybody at Christmas, so are you dating anybody special? When are you going to get married? I think people have backed off from that old-fashioned thinking. And how long have I talked? Okay, I got to cut this short. I do want to show you my special ornaments for the day, so don't go anywhere yet. Let me go get those. Okay, this is one of the first Christmas things I ever bought. It's so heavy. I don't know if you can see it. It's old. You can see it's getting worn down here. Maybe I should stand it down, but no, I want it to show its age. I think I paid like $5.98 for this, and I got it at a store. It used to be called Pick and Save, and then it became Big Lots. And it used to be a very inexpensive store, but they had some really cute Christmas stuff. And I just remember buying this. I just thought it was darling. And you guys know how I like my little woodland creatures. And can you believe I've had this for over 40 years? The brim of his hat has broke. But, it has some wear and tear on it. But again, it's one of those things that we've had forever. So it always reminds me of, when I was a young mom. The kids were little. And that kind of stuff brings back the warm fuzzies, Christmas memories and stuff. Just, isn't it cute? I just think it's darling. Did you see the two little guys down here? Aren't they cute? So, yep, that's it. That's my Christmas ornament of the day, or decoration. Ornament means hanging off the tree. You're not hanging this off a tree. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for listening. And I hope I see you guys tonight. Remember, 7 o'clock. Pacific Coast time. Just, get something to drink and come sit with us. I think it's going to be fun. So I'll see you guys later on tonight.